Hello and welcome to the Kim Kardashian's guide to replacing the third taillight on your Honda Odyssey minivan. Now, I don't know if Kim actually has a Honda Odyssey minivan, but if she did and she discovered that somehow the third taillight had become burned out, Kim's the type of go-get-'em girl who would probably roll up the sleeves of her fancy nightgown and get to busy fixing this. So let's take a look and see what Kim would probably do. The very first thing that Kim would have to do is, first off, verify that she actually had a problem. So what's the best way to go about doing that? Well, make sure that your third taillight doesn't actually light up. So get in the van, press on the brakes, and double check. Now, the third taillight is located right there on top, and if it's not lighting up when the other two brake lights are lighting up, you've got a problem on your hands, and you got to fix that. What would Kim do next? Well, the very first thing she'd probably do is get out a regular flat screwdriver, and she'd notice that there's a little triangular piece that's made up of part of the plastic that holds in the third taillight. She'd probably work the regular screwdriver in there, just twist it back and forth a little bit, and discover that she could pop out a little triangular piece of plastic. On the other side, she'd do exactly the same thing. Once again, there's a little gap there. Work the screwdriver in carefully, work it back and forth, and we pull it out. What you're going to discover is that there's two Phillips head screws in there. Get your appropriate Phillips screwdriver and then start unscrewing those screws. You're going to want to completely remove them because you're going to be removing the piece of plastic that holds your third taillight on your Honda Odyssey. Okay, take that last one out there, just a little bit more. These are pretty long screws, so they do take a little bit of extra work to actually get them out. There we go. Now we got it. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is actually physically remove the third taillight assembly. It's actually pretty easy. It's going to be held in by some power cords. Once you have it out, just a little twisting is going to allow you to gain access to the actual bulb itself. Now, this is the burned out bulb that we have in place. A little wiggling back and forth. Once again, you don't want to do it too hard, otherwise you might end up breaking the bulb. There you go. That's one clearly burned out light bulb. It's going to have to be replaced. Aha, we've gone to the store. We've gotten two new replacement bulbs. We're only going to need one of them. This is going to be pretty straightforward. You can get this bulb at pretty much any hardware store or any auto supply store. All right, let's get our bulb out and get busy putting it in place and fixing our third taillight on our Honda Odyssey minivan. Okay, so we get the bulb out. There we go. Next thing we're going to do is we're basically going to do everything in reverse here. We're going to actually gently work the bulb into place there. All right, we got it. Make sure we've got it set in there quite nicely. That's just about perfect. Okay, great. Now what we're going to do is put the bulb back into its container, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to give the little twist holder a little twist. Once again, it's going to be secured in place. We'll put the whole assembly back into the hole. We're good to go. And now the next thing we have to do is just simply put those two Phillips head screws back in place. So we take one, go ahead and just it takes a little bit of something to get these things lined up, but it's not too bad once you get it started. So let's just go ahead and get that squared away there, line her up just perfectly. That'll do it. And then it's just a little bit of screwing. We should be good to go. All right. Got that one pretty much taken care of. Let's do the other one now. And as you screw these in, what you're going to notice is that the whole piece of plastic sort of settles back into place. You should have a nice seal between the plastic and actually the metal that makes up the back door of your Honda Odyssey minivan. So we'll just sort of go ahead and screw that all the way in. We'll go back to this one, make sure that it's screwed all the way in. All right, we seem to be doing pretty well there. Excellent. All right, got that one taken care of. Really only got one thing left to do here. So now what we're going to do is put these little pieces of plastic back together. You can see there's a little piece of extra plastic right there. And what it means is that we take a look in the hole, we'll see a little indent in the hole where it lines up with this little extra piece of plastic. We fit the piece of plastic into the indent, press down and get it to seal. Other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the little indent piece of plastic. We're going to work it in and just apply some thumb pressure, just enough thumb pressure to get it in there, and poof, we are good to go. We're all taken care of there. The last thing to do is check to make sure that our fix job worked. We sit in there, start pressing on the brakes, and poof, all of a sudden you start seeing that third brake light light up. When we see that third brake light up, we know that Kim Kardashian has solved her problem. And hey, isn't that what it's really all about? Thanks!